Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. And today I have another little Christmas project to show you. Another clean and simple Christmas card. Very monochrome in colour, but very sweet, I think. This one I made using smoky slate, silver and white. To come onto camera, I decided to change it up a little bit. Quite often when I do a card on camera, I change the colour scheme, and I have changed it up quite a bit today. So let me show you what we're going to make. So we're going to start with a card blank, which is the same as my normal card blank, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres, scored at 10.5, or 8.25 by 5 3/4 inches, scored at 4 1/8. Half, that's more or less half of an A4 sheet. And then I'm going to bring in some Pool Party. So whereas I use smoky slate on this one, I'm going to use Pool Party. And just to add a little bit of interest, I have embossed this with our subtle embossing folder. Don't know if you can catch that on camera. Quite tricky to see, it is very subtle. So I'm going to use some Tombow to glue that to my card base. I'm loving this combination of colours that I'm using today. This is about the third card I've made. I don't think I've shown you all yet, but it's the third card I've made using Purple Posy and Pool Party, and I'm just loving that combination. So I think a lot of my Christmas cards are going to be this combination. Quite often I stick with just silver and white or gold and very vanilla, but this year I'm going, I think, Pool Party and Purple Posy. I'm loving the pale Purple Posy. Didn't realise how dark Highland Heather was until we got a much paler purple, and then you realize, oh, I didn't want to stick that on yet. Oh, I've got to take that off. Talking too much. Don't want to stick that on yet quite yet, because I want to put our strip across. Just rescued it in time. So I've got a strip of silver card and a strip of Whisper White, which I have embossed with our, oh, what's that one called? Eyelets. Something and eyelets, I think. I'll have to have a look and put it on my blog. The blog will be below when I've finished filming. So that's going to go across there. And the reason I don't want to stick it down is because I want to be able to trim so that the edges stick very well. I'm going to use tear and tape to stick to the foil, because the foil is non-porous. So sometimes after a while the Tombow will dry out and then it won't be sticky. And as this is a Christmas card, I need it to last. I'm doing this in September. I need it to last at least until December, when Christmas comes along. So let's find my tweezers. It's a good job I record these videos in my room where everything's to hand. I'm very bad at remembering to get everything out that I need. Trying to get this backing off here. Don't know if any of you can hear in the background my daughter practicing her singing. She's a musical theatre performer and got an audition tomorrow, so she's practicing like mad for a part. You might be able to just hear her in the background. There we go. I didn't have the heart to tell her to stop because I was videoing, so don't think it's too disruptive. Right, and that's going to go across there. So I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow. Getting very sticky here because it's already got glue on it, but it will be fine. I tend to post my videos warts and all, so you can see that things go wrong for me as well as for you sometimes, and that it's not all perfect in the crafting world, but there's usually a way that you can rescue things. So like I just rescued, luckily I'd stuck it with Tombow, because if I'd stuck it with tear and tape, that would have been it would have been down. Right, so I need to put this down here. I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want it to stick to my grid paper. So there we go. Oh, it's not stuck at all. Need to stick it a bit harder than that so that it does stick. There we go. And then lift that off. And then come in with some scissors and trim. So press your scissors up against the side of the cardstock and you'll get a really, really nice smooth edge. There, like that. And this is still quite tacky, but I'm going to add a little bit more, just to make sure it sticks. Can't bear seeing odd corners or edges come up on cards when they're not stuck down properly. I think that makes them look quite unprofessional, and I do pride myself on a professional finish. There we go. I think handmade doesn't need to look like homemade. I think homemade implies that things aren't done very well, whereas handmade can be absolutely gorgeous, just not mass produced in a factory. Right, there we go. So there's the base of our card. Lovely. I'm then going to come in with a purple posy, one of our stitched nested labels. This one, the one I've used, is this one, which measures from point to point just over 4.5 inches, or in centimetres I think it's just over, it's nearly 12 centimetres. So that's the one you need. But before we stick it down, we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to use the gorgeous Delicata inks ink pad. I'm going to use the silver today. Absolutely lovely, loving these new pads. Got gold, silver and copper, which is great, so for any occasion. And I'm going to stamp in silver on the purple shape. There we go. And then I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to come in with a piece of card and stamp my tree. Loving this tree with the punch. I've used it so many times. There we go. So let's come out here and punch him out. So this is the Christmas tree stamp that I've used most. I don't think I've used any of the others actually. I don't know whether I will, but this is the one that I love most of all. And I love the sentiment as well. So there we are, there's our tree, and that just needs to be raised up on some dimensionals. And then the panel is going to be raised up on dimensionals as well. So there we go. Put some dimensionals on the back there. Put plenty because you don't want it being squished in the post when it goes through the post. In the UK, letters go through rollers, and I know to my cost that when I've not put enough dimensionals, they get squished, and then it doesn't look so good when they get to the other end. You've got a bit dented in. So if you put plenty of dimensionals on, that should help to stop that happening. There we go. So my little tree is there. And then all we need to do is add some dimensionals to the back. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this side bit because I want quite big bits of dimensionals around here, and I can use them up like that. So you can see I've stamped Merry Christmas on the other side here. I was just having a little practice to see what it looked like. But this is the back side, so I don't need that side. So if anyone's thinking I'm sticking on the wrong side, no, I'm not. Just I had a little practice on the back there. So there we go. There we go. I'm going to put another couple, tiny bit there. I'm going to cut another bit, just put in the middle to hold that centre up. And then take all of this off here. So are you all getting on with your Christmas crafting? I'm just about getting in the mood. It always seems too early to start doing it in August when the catalogue first comes out to us as demos. But once it gets into September, I know how quickly time goes. So I do try and get all my cards for me done, cards and tags and any home decor projects done in October, because I know by the time November gets here I'll be running around like a headless chicken trying to get everything else done. So if I can get it all done and stationery done in time, that helps. Right, there we go. That is my card. Now what do you think? Very different effect, I think, those two cards. Same design but very different with those two colour schemes. Loving this one, I have to say, loving this colour scheme. So I hope you enjoyed my project. I'll be back with loads and loads more crafty Christmas inspiration. So do subscribe if you haven't already. Press subscribe button at the bottom there, and press the bell if you'd like to be notified whenever I post. I try and post 3 times a week. I'm not ever so reliable though, so but I do try and post as regularly as I can. And thank you for watching today. If you want to make a card like this, everything I used is available from my shop, links down the bottom, and I'll be back very soon to show you some more inspiration. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye.